All right, so welcome back to the last presentation on proportions. So now we're going to try out a couple of questions. We'll continue to try out some questions. So we'll start with this one, number 5. Okay, so what does it read? So Hamid Chaudhry has 2/5 interest in a partnership. She sold 5/6 of her interest for this much. What was the total dollar amount of Mrs. Chaudhry's interest before selling? What is the value of the partnership? Okay, so she sold 2/5 of her interest, right? 2/5 of her interest in a partnership. So if this is a partnership, this is the total money in the partnership. Okay, she has 2/5 of this, right? 2/5 of this. We'll call it the partnership. Call it partnership. We can also call it P. Okay, so she has 2/5 of this P. Okay, 2/5 of the partnership. Let's call it X instead. 2/5 of X. Okay, this X is the partnership. So you can see here that Hamid Chaudhry has 2/5 interest in a partnership. So there is a partnership, and whatever the total amount of that partnership is, she has 2/5 of it. That means the other 3/5 does not belong to her. Okay, so if there are 7 parts of the partnership, 2 of them belong to her, and the other belong to somebody else, right? And if the partner of the total partnership, 2 parts belong to her, and the 3 parts belong to somebody else. Out of the 5, sorry. And she sold 5/6 of her interest for $300,000. So out of this 2 that she has, right, she sold 5/6. So 5/6 of this 2, right? She have 5/6 of her. So we'll call this whatever that 2 is. We'll call that amount. Let's say a Y. So she sold 5/6 of Y for how much? $300,000. $300,000. So for $300,000, she sold 5/6 of Y. Okay, so the Y we can write it down as multiply, right? You saw that before. Multiply, so we can say 5/6 of multiplied by Y equals 300,000. So 5/6 of her Y equals 300,000. So what that means is if we multiply 6 on both sides, 6 here and 6 here, and this gets cancelled, and we're left with 5Y equals 6 times 300,000, so 100. That would be 1.8 million. And now we can just divide 5 on both sides, right? 5 and divide 5, and we're left with this gets cancelled, so we get with 1 to Y equals 306. So 360,000. So that's the amount. That is the amount for this. This 2 actually equals $360,000, right? So in other words, 2/5 of the partnership of X equals this 360. Okay, so 2/5 of the X is this much, so we can figure out the other 3/5, right? Because what is the dollar amount of the Mr. Chaudhry's interest before selling? So what is the dollar amount of Mrs. Chaudhry's interest before selling? So this was 360,000. That's the answer to this one. And 5/6 of it, which was 300,000, she sold, and she's left with 1/6 of it. Like she's got $60,000 left, right? And now we're to figure out the total amount for the partnership. So for that, first we have to figure out what's the amount of the total partnership. So 2/5 of X we know is 360,000. So whatever the total partnerships was, 2/5 of that belonged to Ms. Chaudhary, and Chaudhary's amount was 360,000, which we just figured out here. So this, we can do that again the same way. So 2/5 of x, the x just translates into multiply, so we can write it as x equals 360,000. And so the 5 gets multiplied on both sides. It gets canceled here, right? Gets canceled here. Also gets divided, sorry, it gets multiplied here. And then we have 2x equals 0.3. All right. And then x equals, sorry, x 2x over 2 equals 1.8 million over 2. So we get 2 that gets cancelled. So x is equal to 900,000. So basically what that means is the total size of the partnership was 900,000. Total size of the partnership was 900,000. And that's the answer to the, so this was 900,000, and this was, this one, 360,000. So boom, that's all we had to do for this question. Okay. All right, good job, well done. So let's try another one. So let's try like 5/8 of Jess Black's inventory was destroyed by fire. 5/8 of the inventory. So 5/8 of inventory was destroyed when fire, okay? How the remaining part, which was slightly damaged, for 1/3 of its value and received 13,000. He sold the remaining part. So the remaining part was 3/8 of the inventory. He sold it. He sold this for how much? 1/3 of its value. So he sold this for 1/3 of its value. So what is 1/3 of its value? That is given, which is 13,000. So 1/3 of the value of what? 3/8 of the inventory, the remaining inventory that didn't get burned. 3/8 of it, its value is, he sold it for 1/3 of its value. So if it's 1/3 of it is 13,000, then its full value would be basically 1/3 of its value is 13,000. So its full value would just be 13,000 times 3, right? Times 3, because this is 1/3. So this 3 gets multiplied there, and that would be the full value. So that would be 39,000. 39,000. Now, how do you know that? Because 1/3 of 39,000 is 13,000. So we know that the value of 3/8 of the inventory was 39,000. Right? Even though he didn't sell it for 39,000, he sold it for 1/3 of its price, which was 13,000, because this also got a little bit damaged, slightly damaged. But we do know that the value of the inventory that was left was 3/8. So I'm saying, what was the value of the inventory before the fire? So we have to figure out not only the value of the 3/8, but also the value of the 5/8 of the inventory. What was the value of the destroyed part of the inventory? And we also have to find out what is this amount, 5/8 of the inventory. Now, if 3/8 of the inventory is 39,000, 3/8 of inventory equals to 39,000, right? So remember, the off is just basically 3/8 times inventory equals to 39,000. And now if we can multiply 8 on both sides, here, let's get here, and the 8 gets cancelled, and we're left with 3 times inventory equals 312, yeah. Yeah, 312 there. Right. Now we have inventory, and we have to just divide both sides by 3, 3, and 3. This gets cancelled, and we are left with an inventory value of 104,000. Okay. The value of the inventory is 104,000. The value of the 3/8 of it. So that answered this question. What is the value of the inventory before the fire? Before the fire, the inventory was this much. What is the value of the destroyed part of the inventory? So that would be 104,000 minus 39,000, right? That's the 5/8. So that would just be 104,000 minus 39,000. So that's gonna be 65,000. So 65,000 was the value of the 5/8 of the inventory. That is the inventory that was burnt in fire. 39,000 was the value of the inventory that wasn't burnt in fire. And $104,000 is the total value of the inventory. So what is the value of the inventory before fire? It's 104,000. And what is the value of the destroyed part of the inventory? 65,000. Okay. Obviously it's burned, so it has no value now, but before the fire, that was the value that it had. Okay. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Good job, good job, good job, good job. Okay. So let's do another one. Okay. So last year, net profits of Herd Inc. were 2/7 of revenue. So the profit was 2/3 of revenue. Okay, that's the information that we're given. So profit equals to 2/3 of revenue. Then we're told if the company declared a dividend of 128,000 and 5/9 of the net profit was retained in the company, what was the last year's revenue? So if you understand what dividends mean, then this wouldn't really be an issue for you to understand what this question is talking about. So if you don't, let's just pay attention. So a dividend is what the company's, so whatever profit, let's say the company makes a profit of 100. If it pays a dividend of $20, then what is the leftover? $80, right? So the net profit is over 2/7 of the revenue. That's a separate fact. The other fact we're told is the company declared a dividend of 182,000. So basically, the dividend that they paid was not 20, but 128,000 out of the net profit. We don't know what that is. We're not told that. In our imaginary example, it's $100, but we don't know in this case what is the net profit. We don't know. It's a question mark. We do know that the dividend, which is part of the net profit, was 128,000, and 5/9 of the net profit was retained in the company. And we're also not sure what is the remaining profit. We don't know the amount, but we are told something about that. 5/9 of the net profit. So that means this was 5/9, right? If this was 5/9 of this, then this should be 4/9 of this, right? That means is that if there's 9 parts of the net profit, 5 of them went to, 5 of them of the net profit was retained. This is the remaining profit that was retained, right? So if 5/9 was retained, then 4/9 minus 5/9 equals 4/9, right? So 4/9 was what was the dividend. Okay, good. So then, if we are given this information, we are to figure out the last year's revenue. We're to figure out this stuff, okay? So, but before we do, let's figure out the profit stuff. So let's look at this. Like, we know that 4/9, we know the 4/9 of the net profit is equal to 100, 4/9 of net profit equal to 128,000, right? We know that, so you can write that in this form. So 4/9 of profit, net profit, right? This is net profit, this is net profit, equals 228,000. So this off is actually a multiply, 4/9 multiplied by profit, right? I can also write it as 4/9 profit. I can also write it in other ways, but this is also a legitimate way to write it. 4/9. This bracket just means multiply, equals 128,000. Now I can, but all I have to do is divide, multiply 9 here, multiply 9 here. This gets canceled, right? And I'm left with 4 times profit equals this. Right? 1,152,000. And then if I divide both sides by 4, divide this side by 4, this and this 4 get canceled. We're left with profit equals 2. 8,000, right? Yeah. So that's our total profit. So we know that's our total profit. We know these are the dividends that were given. So now the question is asking us, whoa, creepy. The question was asking us the revenue. So now remember, the revenue equation was given up here. We already know the net profit. We know that it equals 2/3 of the revenue. So we know that. We know this thing. We only have one unknown left. So we can use this to figure out this. So let's plug this 280,000 up here. Okay, so let's plug it there. So we get 288,000 equals 2/3 of revenue. So what we do is basically just, this is a multiply, so this is going to be 2/3 times revenue equals this, 288,000. Now if you multiply this whole thing with the 3, then this and this get canceled, and then we have to obviously multiply 3 here too to maintain the integrity of this equal sign. So this get multiplied, and we are left with wait, 8 times 3 is 2, 8 times 3 is 2. Okay, let's just check it. Times 3, 86400. Okay, that's fine. So then, okay, so then we are 864 equals 2 times revenue. Remember, the 2 is still coming down from here. The 3 got canceled over there. So now we have to do is just divide 2 on both sides, right? This and this get canceled. This and this is a whole even number, so they get canceled. Then we are left with equals to revenue. So you can see that the revenue is this, okay? Or we can write it the other way around. So profit is 288,000, revenue is 432,000. And boom. We have both figures, but we were looking for the revenue last year, so this is our answer. So 432,000, yeah? Okay, so let's go look at our last one. You can actually check the answer for this one. It's in the 744 3.2. Okay. So we may have done something wrong. Last year net profits were 2/7 of the revenue. Oh, it's 2/7, sorry. It's 2/7. So when I multiplied by 3, it had to be multiplied by 7. 7 gets canceled. And 7 times 208 is 0, 0, 0, 5, 6. Let's just double check this. 288,000. Multiply by 7. 201600. Okay, and now we divide that by 2. Okay, good. 108. So that's the correct answer. Okay. It's this here. 100,800. Right. 100,800. Okay. Good. One. Revenue is equal to 100,800. Okay, good. Awesome. Well done. So that's wrong. I used the wrong figure. Okay, so the answer is this one, $1,008,000. That's the revenue. Okay. Okay, good. Well done, well done, well done. Let's do the last one and we're done the proportions. Okay. Material cost of webcam is 5/8 of the total cost. Okay. So 5/8 of total cost equals material cost. Okay. We can write it as MC and total cost is TC. Okay. If labor cost is $15, what is it? No. And labor cost is 1/3 of the material cost. Okay. The labor cost, let's write that as 1/3 of MC, which is the same as this one, equals to labor cost, LC. Okay. 1/3 of this equals to this. So he's saying if labor cost is $15, what is the total cost of the webcam? So $15 gets plugged here. Whoops. And just put 15 in here. And then this gets turned into a multiply sign. So this 3 is going to get multiplied over there. Why? Because there's going to be 3 multiplied here and 3 multiplied here. And then you have MC equals to 45. That's your material cost. And then this gets plugged here. 45. And this becomes a multiply sign. Okay, and then we just basically multiply 8 here, multiply 8 here, and then these two get canceled while these two get multiplied. That becomes 360, and this becomes 5 times total cost. 5 times total cost, and then total cost equals, so you basically divide this by 5, divide this by 5, 5 and 5 get cancelled, 5 and this get cancelled, I get 70, oh sorry, 72. So we get the total cost is 72. So my friends, the total cost of the webcam is $72. Okay, boom, well done. So if you want to get good at this stuff, you got to practice. There's no way around it. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Well done, good job.